What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews, and I'm here to take you through a comprehensive NBA player prop preview for Game 4 of the NBA Finals between the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. I ain't gonna lie to you, I just spent 20 minutes recording this, and I screwed up the whole thing, so I'm starting all over again, so I apologize if the energy ain't there. I considered sacking the whole thing, but given this could be the last NBA player prop preview we have for this season, I had to do it again, so... rolling into it, doing what we normally do. We'll assess the box score from the last game. We'll jump into outlier. I'll share all my thoughts, and then we'll get some bangers. Kicking it off with the box score real quick because I know I've already done a review of this. So let me eat through it nice and fast for you and not bore you with it. But Boston obviously won 106-99. Chance to sweep here. Jaylen Brown was great. Rebounds, assists, and points. Tatum scored some points. Went under his assists and his boards. Al Horford, relatively quiet. Derek White, consistent, 16, 5, and 4. That's pretty much where his lines were at. Drew Holiday broke a lot of hearts in that last game, 9, 4, and 5. And then if we look at the Dallas Mavericks, we saw Derek Jones get barely any minutes at all, so under on him could be nice. PJ Washington at 13 points, 8 rebounds. He was relatively quiet. Daniel Gafford didn't get too many minutes either. Kyrie exploded, 35 points, under in his rebounds, under in his assists. Luka got fouled out, went under his points, rebounds, and assist line. Derek Lively was excellent off the bench, got almost 30 minutes, 11 points, and 13 boards. He actually had a plus rating whilst he was on the court. Terrible when Gafford and Maxey were on there as well, and Tim Hardaway. He was terrible. So I think we could see a lot more lively action, but let's jump into outline now. Let's get jiggy with it. So we'll start with Jaylen Brown. I've got a good read on Jaylen Brown, given I've already done all this. But his points line, 24.5. And I'm not going to break this down, all the numbers, because I've done this same type of video over and over again. The numbers haven't changed too much, right? There's been one game. So Jaylen Brown, similar to Tatum, broke out in this last game, scoring 30 points. Let you know right now, I do like the over in his points, 24.5. And why is that? Because 22 shot attempts, no Kristaps Porzingis, a lot more aggressive from Jaylen Brown. The good thing is he maintained his percentages at 55%. So if he can get 20 shots up, I absolutely love this play. The other look and opportunity for Jaylen Brown to be better, 2 from 9 from deep. So he missed a lot of three-pointers. Had he made a few more, you could have seen him in the mid-30s. So there's just room for growth without taking any more shots. But his percentages in the paint, extremely high. Transition points and attacking the rim, he's killing them out there. I don't think they have an answer for him, so I do like the points prop. I do like his assist prop as well. 7 and 8 in his last 2 games, but this is the reason why. 12 and 14 potential assists. He had more potential assists than Jason Tatum in that last game, so I do like the assist prop as well. Given he's killing them with the ball, they're forcing him to pass a bit more, and it's resulting in assists. But I think the play that I'm going to take is probably the points plus assists, given I like them both. The 28.5. I don't care that he's only hit this in 1 of 3 games. The reason why he's hit it is that big difference in his scoring in that last game. I think he continues to score. I think he continues to pass the rock around. If you had to pick one, I'd probably just go with the points. But I'm going to be running with the points plus assists for Jaylen Brown. The other look I have for Jaylen Brown is around his turnovers. I do like the over 2.5 turnovers given the volume of passes that he's making, moving that rock around a bit more. He's throwing the ball out of bounds in every single game, so I don't mind seeing a bit more of that. And also, if we think of the narrative, if Dallas come to play, try to force a game 5, then that could be some more turnovers for Jaylen Brown. Problem is, it's at minus 162, so those of you on Rebet, Chalkboard, Dabble Fantasy, this is a good play for your fantasy players. If you don't have any of those apps, video link in the description below. Check them out. You get deposit bonuses and matches and all that type of stuff when you use my codes and links. But the odds for that aren't great, but I'm going to combine that with another play, and I'll get to that shortly. I'll call that out. Let's have a quick look at Jason Tatum to see what's cooking. So Tatum, his line is at 27.5. His points line finally broke out in the last game, scoring 31 points. What did we see? We saw a whole lot of shot attempts from Jason Tatum. 26 shot attempts, he made 11, 42% from the field. That's the highest percentage he's had so far in this series. Absolutely murdered it. I'm not comfortable betting the over, but I also want to back the under because of this volume is scary. So that's a bit of concern for me. The other looks and considerations I have, his assist line's at 5.5. He's gone 5, 12, and 5 in this series. But his rebound line, 9.5, and he's gone at 11, 9, and 6 in this series. So one thing I'm looking at here is taking the under in Jason Tatum rebounds plus assists. Now, you're probably asking why, because I had it as a lean to go over in the last game. He went 6 and 5 in that last game, but the reason why I'm looking at the under 15.5 rebounds and assists for Tatum is purely on the chances and potential assists. So rebound chances, they're coming down. He had 15 in game 1, finished with 11 boards, 12 in game 2, finished with 9. He only had 10 rebound chances in game 3, finishing on 6. Now the key call out here is he gets a lot of rebounds late in the game, but in the fourth quarter, he was the primary defender on Luka Doncic. I think the Dallas Mavericks have worked out they don't want Jaylen Brown defending Luka Doncic. They would prefer Jason Tatum. But they've been hunting that switch a little bit more. And what that means is you'll see Jaylen Brown's rebound chances have gone up. Jason Tatum's have gone down, but their lines have remained relatively the same. So I like the under in his rebounds because of that reason. Those chances are lower, and his potential assist volume has come down as well. Only 8 potential assists in the last game. Jaylen Brown had 14. So Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, in a way, have switched roles. So I do like Brown's assists. His rebounds, my only concern with his rebounds is a lot of those came in the last quarter. So I'm not sure if we can expect a lot of that end to end in this game, but I think Jaylen Brown's points and assists are a good look. And for Jason Tatum, his points, that's a little bit up in the air because he's going to take a whole lot of shots. Whether he covers this line or not, he's shooting it a lot. But rebounds and assists, you can kind of get a good gauge of where he could land based on the opportunities that are going to be presented. So if he does spend more time defending Luka Doncic as the primary defender, he's going to get less rebound chances. And obviously on the offensive end, he's shooting the ball a lot more. I would make the assumption that his passes are down. Jaylen Brown's creating a bit more on the offensive end. So the under in rebounds and assists is probably the way that I'd be going, where you might find that this is a popular play from a lot of other people. The over 15.5 rebounds plus assists has cashed in 8 of his last 10 games. So if someone's looking at these numbers, they'd probably lean to the over in that regard. But based on what I've seen and the chances that are available, this could be the last game of the series, you're saying. So I'm willing to risk it, not risk it all, but this is sports betting, right? So I'm looking to take the under in Jason Tatum's rebounds and assists. So I'm not going to hammer those facts out any longer. Next up from the Boston Celtics, though, we do have, let's go Jrue Holiday. He broke hearts in the last game, and I knew that I had this feeling he was going to kill everybody betting for him just because of how many people are on him. Not to say they did it on purpose, but the play was that obvious that I didn't feel comfortable that it was going to win, and then sure enough, he sucked. So his points line at 13.5 this series, 12, 26, and 9 minutes. You got no worries about that. And this is what I said. I said this last time. I said he's probably going to take 10 to 12 shots, right? 10 to 12 shots. What you're going to need is for him to cover this line is another game with crazy percentages. It didn't happen. He regressed back down to 44%, and he didn't get close to this line. So the points line at 13.5, I'm still not willing to dance on it because he's only taking 9 shots, not getting to the free throw line too often, and his 3-point attempts are going the other way. So the under in his points is probably a good look. If we look at his assist line at 4.5, 5, 3, and 5, 9 potential assists. So those potential assist numbers are pretty consistent. So I don't mind that. I probably lean to the over in his assists. And on the rebound side, 5.5 for Jrue, 8, 11, then only 4 boards in that last game. He had 11 rebound chances, though, so him securing those boards was a bit of an issue. But he did have 3 offensive rebounds. So I don't have this available in my sports book, but if you could bet on his offensive rebounds alone, I think the over in that could look nice. But a lot of these I'm not necessarily loving. Right? If I had to bet something on Jrue Holiday, I'd probably take the under in his PRA. And similar to Jason Tatum, he's hit this PRA in 8 out of his last 10 games. He's just had a slow game, 23.5. Yes, it's probably the way that I'm leaning here because I'm a fucking idiot. I can't explain why I feel that way. That's just what I'm thinking. If I had to bet Jrue Holiday, I'd be looking at it under in his PRA. I don't have the confidence to take that bet right now, but that's just what my gut tells me. All right, next up, we got Derek light-skinned Derek. Let's go. Points-wise for Derek White, I'm assuming it's going to be 15.5. It is 15.5 for Derek White, plus money play. He's gone 15, 18, and 16 in this series. Shot attempts, not high either, 11, 15, and 10. He did make a lot of three-pointers, though. So starting to heat up. 4, 4, and 9. So his three-pointers could be a good look. Didn't miss any free throws either. So I think the challenge with betting on Derek White is his ceiling's not too high. So it's going to be a sweat whether you take the over or under because he's just that consistent. I think taking a look at his three-pointers is probably the safest play. You can see here his three-point line. Well, I'm assuming that's 3.5. No, it's 2.5. This is fucking crazy. Derek White for over 2. I like that. I found it. Derek White, over 2.5 3-pointers. So Derek White has made the most 3-pointers in this NBA Finals series. So I did check that. I think he's made 11 so far. I only checked that because I did bet on Luka to have the most, but he's only made 9 after struggling in that last game. So anyway, Derek White, he's made 3+ 3-pointers in all 3 games in this series. Made 4 in that last game against Dallas. Line at 2.5 at -119. Tell me how this doesn't happen, because it's not like he's the key player that the Dallas Mavericks are going to look to shut down. So I do like the 3-point prop there for him. If we have a look at his assist line, it's at 3.5, -160 to the over though. So I definitely lean that way, but potential assist volumes are not great. So I don't love that play. His rebound line is at 4.5, had 5 rebounds in his last 2, 11 rebound chances in that last game though. The over is at plus money. So I'd probably lean that way for sure, but not with too much confidence. So Derek White, the 3-point prop is probably the only play that I would take on him. And let's go with Al Horford. Sweet Papa Al. His points line's at 9.5. I had a massive, no, it wasn't massive. I had a really strong lean on his first quarter points prop to go over. He cashed it, of course. And so what Al Horford tends to do is he cashes his first quarter points prop and then he goes under his total game prop. So in this series, 10, 5, and 8. So I definitely don't like the points prop. 9 point for him to score 10. I probably lean to the under on that, but it's at -130, so it's not great odds for straight betting. But again, if you're in any of those fantasy apps, Rebet, Chalkboard, Dabble, whatever it is, Al Horford could be a good one to add to your entry. If you don't have any of those apps, video link in the description below. A play that I want to look at, though, is his first quarter points prop, 2.5, and it's plus money still. So check this out. 5 points in 3 consecutive games in the first quarter for Al Horford. I'm taking it this time, and if it blows up in my face, well, fuck. What can I do? But I think this is a great look. He hits it really often. He's cashed it well against the Dallas Mavericks, and especially in this series. He tends to make a lot of shots when his legs are fresh. Later in the game, he doesn't even take them. But early in the first quarter, Al Horford's going to take some shots. So I do like the first quarter points prop for him. His rebound prop at 6.5. 7, 7, and 5 so far in this series. If we look at his chances, 12, 11, and 9. So rebound chances on the way down. So I'd probably lean to the under for Al Horford's boards, but that's not a bet that I'm willing to take. One that could be value is the assist line. It's moved up to 2.5. So this was sitting at 1.5, was value, but I don't like that 2.5 for Al Horford. If you want to think about the bench guys, you've got Payton Pritchard and Sam Hauser. I think I said it on the Land Your Bets stream that Sam Hauser could be a good one to look at in limited time. He could be someone who pops off, and he did, but I didn't take that bet. But it's not something I'm going to bet on now because it's already happened. It really could be Payton Pritchard in this game. But let's jump over to the Dallas Mavericks, shall we? Pumping the brakes real quick on this one, and it's not to promote any new partnerships or apps or anything like that. I just wanted to let you know that if this is the last game of the finals, I'm probably going to take a short break because, not gonna lie, I am burnt out. I am gassed as fuck. Not only am I creating this content every single night, doing the research, sharing pics, and all that type of stuff. I've got a young family, exhausted me, waking me up at 5:30 a.m. I go to sleep at about 2 a.m. to get all these videos out to you. So running low on sleep. But on top of that, outside of these videos, I'm doing stuff to create a course and stuff like that. I'm grinding, man, and I need a break. I need some load management up in this thing. I'm the Kawhi Leonard of content creating. At my best, I could be the best. But right now, I need a break. So I just want to let you guys know, if this is the last game of the NBA Finals, I am going to take a short break. And when I say short break, man, it'll just be a couple of days. Don't worry, you hear from me. And for those of you who have subscribed to The Winnable, if I do play some bets, I'll be sure to share them with you. So let's get back to the preview, shall we? Let's go Mavs. All right, we're talking about Luka Doncic, and fuck me, we're talking about the first play, under 2.5 assists in the first quarter. I had this at mad odds. It's now moved to -162. He managed to go over it in the last game, and it doesn't make any sense to me. So fuck that playoff. His first quarter points prop has been a bit of a wagon as in the last 2, but that's now moved to 9.5. Game on the line, it makes sense. But let's look at his points prop. 32.5 for Luka. He's gone under in all 3 games in this series. That's no good. Shot volume is there. Percentages are awful. He only made 1 3-pointer in that last game, so I'm assuming he's sure to let it fly. I would assume so. But the points prop, don't necessarily love it. Hasn't been blowing it out of the park so far in this playoff. So Let's look at his assists, 8.5. He's gone for 1, 11, and then 6. So it stayed at the 8.5 despite the low potential assist numbers. This well and truly could it be a triple-double game from Luka? I'm not too sure. But I probably have to lean to the under for that for Luka. I don't necessarily love it. The potential assists just aren't there. He's taking it upon himself. He had 8 potential assists and finished with 6. So whoever he was passing it to, they were actually hitting him at a pretty good rate. But Luka's getting off that rock early. He's not necessarily creating for anybody else because the Boston Celtics, they're not doubling. They're letting him go one-on-one, forcing him into difficult shots. So the assist prop, I'll lean to the under with. His rebound line is at 9.5, despite letting us down, finishing on 6. He had 10 rebound chances in that last game. So what's happening here with Luka? Early in the first couple of games, it was easy to say, back Luka's rebounds, he's playing on the weak side, yada, yada, yada. Luka's not playing much on the weak side anymore, and you would have seen all the stats around the blowouts and shit like that. The Boston Celtics are truly hunting him down, so he's spending a lot more time on ball compared to what he normally would, which is why he's so tired, why he's so gassed, why he got fouled out. He's on the ball a lot more, which is taking him away from these rebound chances that he'd usually get. And you can see it here, only 10 rebound chances in that last game. He did foul out, so he was probably on pace to get maybe 12 rebound chances, but even that is quite low. If you look at his season numbers, even on the season, he's averaging 14 rebound chances per game on the season. And keeping in mind, that's in 38 minutes. If we look at what's been happening as of late, and he's probably averaging 38 minutes as well. Rebound chances are at 13, but that's exaggerated by the Minnesota series. So in this one, 14, 12, and 10. So he's probably sitting around 12 rebound chances per game. So he's down on his season average, but they're still asking for him to get more than 9.5 boards. So my thought process for Luka, I'd probably look to fade him, to be honest, to take the under 50.5 rebounds and assists if I had to bet Luka. But I don't see no gun to my head. I don't have to bet Luka. So, yeah, I'd probably that way. The bet that I do like is the under in his turnovers, minus 135. The odds aren't fantastic, but I'm going to do a turnover parlay. I'm going to combine Jaylen Brown over 2.5 turnovers with Luka Doncic under 4.5 turnovers. So a little bit of parlay action for you guys. A little about Kyrie. So I had bet on Kyrie to score 30-plus points in every game up until this one. Waiting for him to pop off, and he finally did. God damn. His points line at 24.5, though. So it's moved up by 1 point. So Kyrie Irving, you guys have heard the bitch or beast. It's either he's an absolute beast or he bitches it and doesn't get close. The best way to play Kyrie Irving is probably to take him for over 30 points or take him for under 20. Or take him for both. You might put half a unit on each of those. So let me take a look real quick. So if you had under 19.5, you're getting plus 220. And if you take the over 29.5, you're getting plus 260. So you lose if he lands in the middle. But based off Kyrie's trends, there's a chance of this hitting and you can still make some decent profit there. So Kyrie, I'd lean to the over. The home court advantage stuff is great. Crowd's loving him. His volume is nice. His percentages went up. He started to make some three-pointers as well. He got to the free throw line. Like everything you needed to see if you're someone looking for Kyrie points props, we saw it. And shit, he's the leader of this team, the vocal leader of this team. He's not the best player on this team, but he is the leader on this team. And if he shies away and gets gun shy, man, they're going to be out for his head. So the Kyrie over in points, it makes a lot of sense to me. But I think the best way to play it is just to take the over 30. But we might run a Kyrie ladder on points. So we'll see where I land on that. His assist line at 4.5. He only had 2 in that last game. Only had 7 potential assists. So the 14 potential assists in game 2 was clearly an outlier because he hadn't done that many times before, where he finished with 6 assists. I'd probably lean to the under the 4.5, to be honest. The minus 130, though, but it does make a lot of sense. Kyrie, as well as Luka, I think they're just going to be chucking it up, man, honestly. I don't know how many assists these guys could potentially create if Boston aren't giving them opportunities. Boston aren't allowing people to shoot three-pointers, and they're not allowing any lobs. So I don't know how Kyrie and Luka can get these assists. Well, I do know how they're going to get them. They pass to each other, and they drive off the catch, and then they score. So they're pretty much getting assists to each other. I know that. So I'd lean to the under in Kyrie assists. Looking at his rebounds at 3.5, I'd probably lean to the under on that too. He's gone under in all 3 games. He's had a lot of minutes. The minutes are sky high. The rebound chances are not, right? So if Luke is not being targeted on the defensive end, then Kyrie definitely is. So it's making it very difficult for him to get boards. So I think the rebounds plus assists, the under on that's probably a good look. So it's 8.5. Yeah, under that in every single game, even in the game where he had 6 assists. So I think Kyrie under 8.5 rebounds plus assists, it makes the most sense. He could have played better than he did in the last game, but I think that last game is probably the best showing that we see from Kyrie in this finals. But I'm happy to be proven wrong, Kyrie. But I do like the over in his points. I like the under in his rebounds and assists. So those are some plays I could be looking at. I wonder what his 3-pointers made line is at. 2.5 for Kyrie, minus 105. He did take 6 attempts in that last game. He made 4 of them, which is an over performance. But I think, yeah, I can definitely see him cashing the 3 for sure. Who have we got from this squad? We got Daniel Gafford. So Daniel Gafford, my gut tells me let's just take the under in his PRA purely because he struggled in that last game. I didn't bet on any of the Dallas Mavericks centers because I wanted to see how they were going to be used. In the prior game, they got him some touches in the post. He scored in Tatum. He got offensive rebound. In that last game, he did barely anything. 6 points, 3 boards. He only got 16 minutes. And he was like a 16 in those 16 minutes or something. So they weren't good with Gafford in the court, so he got less time. Derek Lively was better, so he got more time. But that doesn't mean Derek Lively is going to get more time in this game, because if Gafford starts the game well, then he's going to get more time. So these Dallas Mavericks centers or bigs, Lively, Gafford, and I don't think anyone bets on Maxi Kleber, but him too. I wouldn't take any bets on any of them because their performance, if they play well, they're going to get more time. If they're not, they'll switch it out and they'll try something else. So, yeah, Daniel Gafford, that's a no from me. Who else do we have? Derek Jones Jr. I think the under could look on. Again, like the under, it would be a lean because he got less minutes in that last game. But does that necessarily mean he's going to get less minutes in this upcoming game? Because you can get wrong by assuming they're going to do the same shit. So he was -6 in his 15 minutes that he played. He had 0 fouls. So he didn't play. It wasn't foul trouble. The reason why he didn't get many minutes is because they were chasing points. Derek not doing nothing on the offensive end. They put plug, who saw a lot more minutes. Tim Hart got more minutes, but he was terrible. Josh Green got 22 minutes, and he was pretty average too. So, you can't assume that Derek Jones Jr. is going to get less minutes again because I don't necessarily have anyone else to put in there. So, yeah, I'll probably pass on taking any bets on Derek Jones Jr. unless you can assume you know how to go. Like this line could be a look. He got 3 rebounds in only 16 minutes. But at the same time, he's played 28 and 30 minutes prior to this, and he's finished on only 3 rebounds as well. But yeah, it's a really interesting look. I ain't gonna lie to you. This first quarter rebound, no, he's at 1. So nothing crazy there. Felt like he got a lot of his rebounds early, but they could have been second quarter rebounds. So I think Derek Jones Jr. rebounds is not a bad look. Nah, I'm kidding myself. I'm not doing that. So Derek Jones Jr., don't overreact because he got less minutes in the last game because there's no guarantee that's going to happen again. He starts for them, so he's going to get some time. And similar to the other guys, if he's good when he's on there, he'll get more time, right? So it's not the Dallas Mavericks rotation is not set, is what I'm saying. They don't have an answer right now. So PJ Washington, Kyrie, and Luka are the only ones who are guaranteed to get X amount of minutes. Everybody else will just fuck around and find out. But PJ Washington, let's talk about it. His points line, 13.5. And he's gone over this in 3 out of his last 10. This series, 14, 17, and 13 points for PJ Washington. Minutes, good. He scored a lot of these points in the last quarter, started making some threes. So don't be fooled by the points prop because that was sweaty as hell. So I'm not loving that. I think if you're looking at PJ Washington, the main bet you'd look at is the rebounds. 6.5 at -132 now. So this opened at 5.5 in game 1, and it's just been moving up, and then the odds are getting worse. And it makes sense in this series, 8, 7, and 8 rebounds for PJ Washington. So rebounds I think is still a good look. It's just at these odds, I don't know if I'm man enough to play them. But yeah, I don't necessarily hate the rebound look for PJ Washington. I think that one's all right. So we'll see what we come up with. Just taking a look at my list now. I've got quite a few leans. So yeah, it's a good game. I am really hopeful that Dallas does win. I feel like I'm not ready to say goodbye to the NBA just yet. Taking a look to see if there's anybody else. I don't think there's anybody else in this Dallas team worth looking at, to be honest with you. I really think for this particular game, don't go too crazy on it. I might go crazy on it. Not gonna lie, we'll see what I end up with. But enjoy it. If you're truly a fan of NBA, just watch it and enjoy it. But if you're just a gambling addict like me, then go hard. It's a last chance. Go crazy. But like I said earlier, if this is the last game of the series, I'll take a couple of days off. I'll rejuvenate and I'll come back and absolutely destroy things on the WNBA. The other thing is, I really don't want to do any MLB content. I've tried it a few times and it sucks, right? Not only do the bets suck, I feel uncomfortable creating content because I don't know what the hell's going on. I still don't understand that bloody game. And on top of that, I don't get many views, right? It's like the performing video that I could potentially make out of all the sports I've done so far. Lowest performing, it's the most difficult one to do. It requires a lot more editing because I don't know what I'm saying. I just feel like it's not worth it for me. I think the great thing is WNBA is on. And after a few weeks, I've really picked up on the players, the styles, and stuff like that. I'm really confident I'm going to turn a pretty good profit on the WNBA this season. So if this is the last game, I am going to take a break, come back, rip into the WNBA. So hope you don't miss me too much, but I also hope the Dallas Mavericks win. So best of luck to you all. Sign up to my Winnable if you choose to follow my picks. If not, it's all G, baby. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to you live from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.